I want to introduce our panel for you tonight. Former Congressman Alan Grayson is with us, a Democrat who served from 2009 to 2011 and again from 2013 to 2015, most recently representing House District 9. What kind of message do each of you hope he presents to viewers tonight?
Well, what I hope is that he'll take this opportunity to resign and put the country out of its misery and end the Trump administration of its own volition rather than waiting to be impeached and convicted, which is what I expect to happen in the next few years.
Strong statements.
It's been a scandal-mired administration, so that's what I hope. What I expect is that Donald Trump will do what he does so well. Tonight's a full moon, he'll be howling at it.
But tell me what you think about when it comes to policy.
Well, the president's going to brag and boast about what he's going to call the best tax cut in history, when in fact it's the worst tax cut in history. He took $1.5 trillion and stuffed it into the pockets of rich multinational corporations that didn't need the money. He's taken the federal deficit from $700 billion.
But Alan, a lot of people are saying, I'm getting a $1,000 bonus. Looks good to me.
That's because the labor market has almost zero unemployment thanks to the Obama recovery. Okay, when he took office, unemployment was a little bit over 4%. Now it's still a little bit over 4%. And the result of that is that employers are competing for employees for the first time in 15 years. That's happening. He can't take credit for that. It's ridiculous to think that the tax cuts for the rich and the tax cuts for multinational corporations are going to end up in the pockets of employees. They won't. 90% of operating earnings in this country go to two things: dividends and stock buybacks. That's not going to change.
Alan, overall, your thoughts?
Well, overall, you ask yourself, why does this man have a 36% approval rating? And the answer is clear. He's not one of us. He's a spoiled rich kid pretending to be president. And nothing that he could say tonight could change that, because he can't change himself. The leopard doesn't change its spoor. And it didn't matter what he said, how many anecdotes he could dredge up, how he could try to associate himself with victims. Doesn't matter. He's still Donald Trump. He's still a disgrace.
It's all politics, and that's what's killing us.
This is the president who said that some neo-Nazis are good people. That's why. Yep. And this is absurd. Okay, the one thing that everybody gets as a break on their tax is the personal exemption. Okay? And by the way, it only goes to persons, not corporations. What does the Trump tax bill do to the personal exemption? Does it cut it? No. Does it increase it? Certainly not. It eliminates it. It kills the personal exemption. And in fact, in general, what it does is it raises the tax on working while it lowers the tax on capital. And it does this at a time when the economy is good. What's it going to be like when the economy is bad? Okay, I mean, what does the Bible say about this? It says, if you've got 7 fat years, what do? Do you borrow and spend more money? No, of course not. You know, this is a time when we should be actually doing something about the federal deficit, because the economy is generally good, and instead we're creating $1 trillion a year tax deficit for as far as the eye can see. That is Trump's great wall, the wall of debt.
Let's sit down and deal with it.
Booker's got a great bill. We should bring it up.
The reason why that's not going to happen is because Trump couldn't decide in his speech whether he wanted to reach across the aisle or retch across the aisle.
Let's get every single person.
Well, there's two things that we might see some progress on. One is trade, and the other one is infrastructure. But it's going to be hard. With regard to trade, he's completely wrong. Here's what he said during the speech at 9:42. Our nation has lost its wealth, but we're getting it back fast. Actually, we're losing it fast. As I indicated before, the trade deficit is larger this year than it has ever been before. And the result of that is that we're actually borrowing more and more and more from other countries, going deeper and deeper into debt in order to buy their stuff and putting them to work without them doing the same for us. The president seems to understand that, but what's he done about it? He said he was going to reform trade. It hasn't happened in the least. It would be such a simple thing for him to say, our trade deficit is not going to be larger than $200 billion next year, and then make it happen. He's got the power to do that already.
Michelle.
The presidency has enormous power. It was a right-wing speech by a right-wing president desperate to change the subject away from his scandal-plagued presidency. You know, it is remarkable to even see Donald Trump as president of the United States. But the higher the monkey climbs up the tree, the more you see is you know what.